There's a laboratory in Sweden where barley seedlings grew almost half again faster in just 15 days, and the only thing the researchers added was a faint electrical current to the roots. By the end of this video, I will show you exactly what those scientists did, why a low voltage signal changes how a root behaves, and the full set of bench-tested protocols I gathered for the people inside the Sovereign Garden Code. This week, $24 instead of $97. No magic, no infinite harvest, just the strangest, most real frontier in growing food that almost nobody is talking about. Let me tell you where this actually comes from, because the headlines get it wrong. The work is from the Laboratory of Organic Electronics at Linköping University in Sweden, led by Eleni Stavrinidou and her Electronic Plants group. In a study published in the Journal of the National Academy of Sciences in late 2023, her team built a soft, conductive growing material they call electronic soil. It is made of cellulose, the most common plant fiber on Earth, blended with a conductive polymer. They grew barley seedlings in it, ran a gentle low-power current through the root zone, and the seedlings grew on average about 50% more over 15 days than the ones grown without it. I want to be honest with you about what that number means and what it does not mean. It does not mean infinite yields. It does not mean you stop watering or feeding the plant. It was a short window in young seedlings in a controlled hydroponic setup, and the researchers themselves are careful to call it an early result that opens a door, not a finished product for your backyard. But the door it opens is genuinely strange and worth understanding. A quick word from someone who tried the gentler version of this at home. Earl, 67, from Kentucky, is a retired civil engineer who follows this channel. He did not build a Swedish laboratory in his garage. He did something far simpler that gardeners have experimented with for over a century called electroculture, and he tracked it like the engineer he is. He will come back later. For now, just hold the idea that electricity and roots have a relationship we are only beginning to measure properly. So why would a faint current matter to a plant at all? Here's the thing most people never learn. Plants already run on electrical signals. They have no nerves and no brain, yet they generate measurable electrical impulses in response to touch, to wounding, and to stress. The same Linköping group mapped these signals in the Venus flytrap, watching the electrical wave travel that makes the trap snap shut. Plants use these signals for long-distance communication inside their own tissue, coordinating how they respond to the world. So when researchers apply a controlled external current, they are not forcing something foreign onto the plant. They are speaking, very crudely, in a language the plant already uses. In the electronic soil study, the leading explanation is that the gentle stimulation changes how the root processes nitrogen, helping the seedling use the nutrients available to it more efficiently during that early growth window. That is the real mechanism, as best the science understands it today. Not energy from nowhere, better use of what is already there. Now, before I go on, I need to stop for about 4 minutes, because if you only take the headline from this, you will waste your money on gimmicks. There's a whole industry of copper coils and pyramid antennas sold to gardeners with wild promises, and almost no controlled evidence behind the strongest claims. I did not want you lost in that, so I pulled together what is actually documented, what is plausible, and what is pure marketing, into one place. It is called the Sovereign Garden Code, and inside is a method we named the 30-Day Sovereign Soil Stack. It is built on real institutional sources. Embrapa in Brazil for soil carbon, Cornell University and the Rodale Institute for Soil Biology, and the published Linköping work for the electrical frontier. Here is what is in it. The core guide, 7 chapters, that separates the documented effects from the folklore, valued at $47. A 30-day soil calendar so you know what to do each week. A seed sourcing guide for resilient, open-pollinated varieties. A companion planting map for natural pest pressure. A plain blueprint explaining the home electroculture experiments honestly, including where the evidence is thin, an atlas of underused food plants, and lifetime updates as the research develops. If you are one of the first people to join in the next 48 hours after watching, you also get a personal soil question answered by email. Altogether, that stack is valued at $347. This week, access is $24, one time instead of the usual $97. And it is protected. 90 days, money back, no questions asked, and you keep every bonus even if you ask for a refund. That is on me, not on you. Members report stronger early growth and healthier soil. Studies suggest the mechanisms are real, and individual results will vary because your soil, your climate, and your patience are part of the equation. The link is in the description and pinned in the comments below. Okay, back to the video. Because you do not need to buy anything to use the next part. Remember Earl from Kentucky. Here's what he actually measured. He ran a simple low-voltage trial on 2 matched beds of the same lettuce, same soil, same water, one with a faint current and one without, and he photographed both every few days. He did not see a miracle. He saw a modest, consistent edge in the stimulated bed early on, which is exactly what the honest version of this science would predict. That is the spirit I want you to carry. Curiosity with a control group, not faith in a copper pyramid. If you want to try the documented basics yourself, here is the real starting point, and it costs nothing. First, the foundation is still the soil. A current does nothing for a root sitting in dead, compacted dirt, so build living soil first with compost and carbon. Second, if you experiment with electroculture, keep the voltage genuinely low and the setup safe, never near mains power, and always run an unstimulated control plant beside it so you can actually tell if anything happened. Third, measure. Photograph, weigh, and write dates down. The entire reason this Swedish work is credible is that they measured carefully instead of trusting a feeling. Let me be clear one more time, because it matters. This is a frontier, not a finished promise. The 50% figure belongs to barley seedlings in a Swedish laboratory over 15 days. Your garden is not that laboratory. What you can take to the bank is the underlying truth. Plants are electrical organisms, and we are only starting to learn how to work with that honestly. Picture two gardeners a year from now. One chased every gimmick online, spent money on coils, kept no records, and learned nothing. The other built real soil, ran small, careful trials, understood the science, and slowly turned a backyard into something genuinely more productive and more his own, like Earl did. If you want the honest, sourced map for that second path, the link is below, $24 this week, 90-day guarantee, the bonus email for the first 48 hours. If you only ever watch the free videos, that is fine too. That is why this channel exists. But do me one favor. Subscribe, so the next time real science quietly changes what is possible in a garden, you hear about it here first, told straight. This is a space for people who want to grow food with their eyes open. Welcome. I will see you in the next one.